Hey, good morning, guys. I'm just doing this small video. I already did a very important Euro USD Dixie video last week with a long-term perspective, which is key, in my opinion, if you didn't look at it. This one is just a blank chart analysis. And I wanted to go back to this area I've been speaking many times. Um, Several things to make it simple. We have this trend line here that is important for me. We bounce from it. We have here this big fib with the 61.8. That's exactly where we bounce, the confluence of this trend line and the 61.8. And that's where we get long here at 111.90. I tell you 111.99 or something like that. So the other very important thing is the volume analysis. And if we look at this volume analysis, and if I take off this thing, we see that we have here in purple, we have two lines, one there, one here. This is a long-term volume control line for me. And this is a medium-term volume control line. The black one are long-term volume blocks. What does it mean? It means this long-term volume control line is the most important in the Euro USD since it was created, because it's where we have a huge accumulation of position. And you see that, for example, here, how long we have been struggling under it before going lower and breaking through it. We can see in many occasions how this level, which is now a support resistance because it is a volume area, a very important volume area. It's not a volume area, an important volume area because it's a support and resistance. That's exactly the inverse. Exactly like sometimes the fib on some swings. So you see, look there, it's a weekly chart. Just remember that. Look how this area has been holding the price on each side in many occasions and from far away. And you see how those block levels have been to supporting or resisting the price very well and very precisely sometimes. Those one are long-term volume blocks, so they do not react to the pip like we could do with other things. But we know something will happen in this area. Here it was to the pip. In some other places, we just go a little bit through it and come back. This is the big M shape we have been speaking about since a very long time. We have been waiting for this move down since May 2021 or something like this. I call this short. Now we are here. We are looking for a bounce on the upside. So the idea of this bounce is coming from the ABC's analysis. And one of them, of course, is this monthly move we have here, which is an ABC, and we have some other here, ABC. So that's an upside ABC inside a big ABC here. If you look at this on a quarterly basis, you see that ABC, it's an M shape too. It could be a giant M shape, and we could be wrong. But the confluence of information we have there, and this one, for example, if you look at this one, you have this confluence. I will change the color to see it better everywhere. So we have this confluence of information. And what we saw, that's a quarterly ABC. So ABC, we went up, we went basically to the 76, 70, 40. So it could be done and we could go lower. That's an option. That's not what I'm looking for because of all the other confluence, 61.8, trend line, and all the other things we have been speaking about lately. So inside that ABC, we can have another shorter term ABC. We are still on a quarterly base, so short term here is already a long term for the thing. And if we look at that one, we see, let me put it purple. So we see we could have here what is forming as an ABC, and that's what is giving us the 128.50, 129, whatever. It depends where we put it. So due to the fact that I'm doing it live, it's sometimes not as clean or as precise as it should be. But this one is usually 128.50, the first target, and 120 something here for the 61.8 of that ABC up. So that's what we are looking at. And the most important now is that this is happening. Let me take off those things here. So we saw all those ABC, but we are now in this critical, very important volume area here, and that's something where we have seen a lot of reaction, a lot of moves, a lot of accumulation of money since Euro USD is created. We remember we had a very bullish setup when we touched this 61.8 here. You see the 61.8, we touch it to the peak where here is 38.2, we just reversed it. Okay, now we have the 61.8 here. If we do it very precisely, you will see it's exactly to the peak where we stopped. And I don't think that's random. I think that happened for a reason. And probably that is the reason. We could very well touch, as I said, the 2360 of the ABC. You saw there was a 2360 of an ABC here, which is exactly a little bit under the 61.8, and which is exactly where we have the second medium-term volume control area with a long-term volume block here. So that's another very important. If you see a flush and everybody is starting to say, okay, Euro USD is dead, blah, 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 like always, everybody is screaming the same thing at the same time. So if we would see another flush before we would bounce, it would be stopped, in my opinion, in that area. But for now, we came back above this area. And if we go in a shorter term perspective, that's what we have. So we had this leg down, important leg down with an ABC that is done. We stop on the 61.8. You have it here, but it comes right here when you do it very, very precisely. And now we are inside this area. That purple line, long-term volume block, volume control area, is very, very important. So anytime when we will be above this line, anytime we can see an acceleration of the Euro USD on the upside. And that's what I think we will get when that will happen. And that's what I'm looking at. So that's why each time I could, like yesterday, yes, it was yesterday here, we get long. Today I added some here because I have some shorter term things like emails and things like that I'm using, and short term support resistances that I'm using in this area. For example, if you do pure price action, that's a 2-hour or 4-hour chart. But even with just price action like we can do here, you have this 4-hour support resistance here. We see it very well. Let's put it smaller. So even if we use this, we will try to put it really on the right place. So you see how price, like this morning, came in here. That's where I got long at 130.30, something like this. I posted it. I added some longs here because I am thinking we can see this acceleration any time. So each time we see that kind of thing. We are accumulating money, and we are accumulating a lot of money in this area since, let's say, mid-November. So that's already 2 months, even, yes, the second month, and we'll go for the third month soon, that we are accumulating a lot of money inside this range. And that's not random. That's because something will happen. And the thing that should happen is that we should see an acceleration on the upside after this accumulation of money. As soon as we stay here, as soon as we respect those low here, this is a very big area where market makers, big money, are playing, accumulating money, putting suitcase loaded of money here, and there is a reason for that.